convention is like, my ears needed that, for sure.
Yeah, take that, Jason, Paula, Jack, and the other one.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And for those of you watching at home, there's, 10,000 people?
There are I can't even see the back.
Some would say that there's 10,000 that we can see and more.
And more.
Yeah.
This is the biggest panel ever.
Everyone in Honolulu showed up to this. We have to cut the line. I'm sorry, guys, we can't let you in. There's too many people in here.
There's riot police on horses.
Yeah.
This is great.
It's so good.
Thank you so much for being here. Give
Thank you,
yourselves
guys.
a round of applause.
Round of applause for you guys.
Yeah. Now give us a round of applause. No, don't.
It was such a mistake putting Racquel and I on a panel with just Adrian to try and keep us in check.
Yes.
Because Adrian loco too.
I know. I'm a little scared.
Aren't we all?
I mean, always.
Thank you for coming, you guys. So, right off the bat, are there any burning questions?
Good, okay. So,
Perfect, because we didn't want to answer it.
no, we are going to do improv exercises with you guys. We're
Y'all know
going to
what
learn
improv
how to
is?
yes and.
Yum, yum, yum. That's a spicy improv.
Oh boy, this is going to go off the rails real fast. We got an hour.
It's going to be great.
I have a question for the two of you. Just
I
I
have
am
an
not
answer.
wearing underwear, so there's your answer.
Okay, great. Counting the children. No. Okay, what was your first voiceover role for each of you?
Oh.
Cartoon voiceover role.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Or character role. Maybe it's a video game. I don't know, but
Okay, I got this one right off the top of my head. So, my very, very first booking ever, was I was one of 3 dudes on the cast of Yoo-Hoo and Friends. That's accurate.
That sounds fun.
It was, so it's a Korean little like Beanie Baby sort of toy that got bought and repackaged by Dave Fease, who was the guy who wrote and created Cow and Chicken, and written by Thomas Krajewski, who was one of the original writers on Fairly Odd Parents. And I was one of the villains on it. There were like these 3 little meerkats who followed the main cast around and was trying to, cause trouble because they're little rascals. And because I was the only guy that wasn't double cast on the show, I got every other male role in the show because they wanted to save money. So I ended up with like 25 credits off of the 2 seasons we did. And it would just be like, hey, Jesse, we've got a character coming up. Can you do it? Yeah, I got it. Oh, we got another one. Can you? Yeah. Just what's he like? Oh, he works out? Okay, I'm going to do this thing then. Like, it was a great time. It was such a great exercise, too, to just keep things moving at all times.
nice, awesome, Racquel.
My very first booking was a commercial. I was 14 years old. I had just signed with my agent. And it was for a phone company, I think Solo Mobile. Is that even a thing anymore?
They are out of business.
They are out of business. Okay, well.
Way to go, Racquel.
You're welcome.
I think they went out of business. How old are you again? Because it was when you were 14.
No, that's on my shoulders now. Anyways, my burnt shoulders. I did a solo scrape and win commercial where I played the lead guy in the commercial's girlfriend, and the whole idea behind this, it's kind of inappropriate, but he's in the bathroom and everybody knocking on the door thinks he's doing something gross, but really he's scratching a solo scrape and win. And I break up with him.
Why did they go out of business?
It's such a brilliant ad campaign.
Hey, if you're a writer for that particular commercial in, oh God, what 14 years ago?
Yes, Racquel?
I would love for you to write some sort of cartoon starring me, Jesse, and Adrian. We're looking for you. If you're watching this at home,
We love you very much.
contact us.
The toxic triplets.
Yeah, oh boy. Yeah.
What about you, Adrian?
Were we voiceover specific? I forget, or is this just in general? I'm going to go with just in general, actually,
Okay.
because this is interesting and not known. My very first credit after I got an agent was I didn't book anything for a long time. I was kind of a funny-looking kid, and toy commercials, I don't know, they didn't like me. but I booked instructional video for the Port of Vancouver. So little Adrian with his bowl haircut and a crossbite would walk around the Port of Vancouver with Salty Sam the Seagull,
No.
a guy in a
wow.
big seagull suit.
Wow.
And he'd go, "These are full of potash." And I'd be like, "What's potash, Salty?"
Wait, his name was Salty?
Salty Sam the Seagull.
Okay.
Salty
And
Sam.
I actually still have this VHS.
Wow.
You need to send that to us
Yes.
now. You
We need
also
to
need to
put it
get a
on
bowl cut
YouTube.
again.
Yes, I should go back to the bowl cut.
Yeah.
It's a good look.
Before I lose all the rest of my hair. Excellent.
I feel you.
So there you go. So that was my first professional gig. That's how. it all
Hey, we've
started.
got a question.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome back.
Well, sort of a side question, but please tell me you didn't have a pirate accent or something like that.
No, it was just me, just like, "Hey," and I wasn't even acting. I was so excited.
No, I meant the seagull guy.
Oh
So-
no, he if I recall, he was just like a really enthusiastic seagull. It was
Oh.
like potash.
In my
all
head, it
sorts
was-
of materials come through the port. So
You should not let anyone see that VHS because that sounds like blackmail
Do
material.
not listen to this man. We're
I need
seeing
this
this
tape.
VHS.
I need this VHS.
okay, I will digitize it and then end my career by
Thank you.
uploading it.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, going on to my real question.
Okay.
My question is specifically about Soren and his character.
Well, hello.
It seems like in the show, he's good at combat
Yes.
and not much else.
How dare you?
Well, I mean, he's good at fighting. It's just he's sort of like
He's good at doing his best.
Well, it's like when he was younger. It looks like he focused primarily on his training, and it shows. And you could see that through like the first 2 seasons that he's really good at that. But when he's taken outside of that, it's like he's not as well versed.
Okay.
Like say, for example, if the same thing could be said for Claudia. If you give her a sword, she is probably not as well versed in combat, but with black magic, she doesn't really need to be.
I bet Claudia would destroy with a sword. You just haven't seen it yet. She's nuts. Well, I mean, I haven't seen her with a sword either.
No, we haven't.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, but my question is, spoilers for people who haven't seen it yet. In season 2, when Soren becomes paralyzed,
Yes.
partially through his own mistake,
Spoiler alert.
and he's basically trying to rethink his life and rethinking his decisions. What was it like going through that process, and how far in advance did you know that, okay, so from now on my character might be a paraplegic?
Ooh. Okay. So Aaron, Justin, and Giancarlo told me early in season 2 recording that it was probably going to happen, and I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I'm an actor, you know, I love the character of Soren, and I want to do what will best serve his story. And doing those scenes, like when Soren gets thrown against the rock and, you know, is calling out for Claudia for help, and the hospital scenes and everything they were really emotional, genuinely. I remember being in the booth and like the voice cracks in Soren's speech about, you know, now he can't hurt anybody because he can't, getting emotional thinking about it. Those are real. Like I feel so deeply for the guy, not only because I voice him, but because there's a lot of me in what I do with him. And yeah, everything was really, it was a trip, man. It was really exciting to be able to do, because, you know, with Soren, he's you know, seen as kind of a comic relief guy for the first bit, and then he gets this beautiful arc where he has to like reckon with the fact that, you know, he can't do what his dad says and hurt people, and that's really freeing out of nowhere. So I don't know, I'm kind of rambling. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Well, I mean, that's why I brought in the whole physicality thing. I mean, like, he was good at combat, and then suddenly he's in a situation where he's like, he might never be able to hold a sword again.
And he was
you
really
can't-
good at
you can't-
poetry.
Yeah, he can't necessarily fight very well when you're in, I don't even know if they have wheelchairs in this world.
I think part of it too is, he immediately jumps to becoming this incredible poet with books that are going to be published for years, and people are going to be telling the story of his incredible poetry for generations to come. And I think that's just kind of a reflection of, where he's at. He wants to like be able to do other things. I mean, kind of like you said, he's this really good fighter, and he's, probably pretty good as like a battle tactician. He'd have to be the leader of the Crown Guard. So I feel like, he'd try his best to keep doing what he could to, remain loyal to his family, because his family's so important to him. And I don't think he wants to do a whole lot of prince stabbing anymore. Does that answer your question?
Very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Are there any scenes that after the fact, you wish you could have performed it differently?
Ooh. So, okay, for me, this was one of the hardest lines I had to record. And I don't know, like, it took me forever. I don't know, you may have been there too, Adrian. I had to say, I think it's like it's season 2 for sure. I think it's episode 2. I had to say pancakes. It took me so long to get that. I'm not even just saying this to be funny. It sucked. I was like, oh my God, I should quit voiceover. Like one word I can't say. And I did so many of them. I had to do a pickup for it.
I remember that, yeah.
And then when I watched it again, I was like, now I know what I should have done. But that's everything else is perfect. Thank you. No, I'm kidding. Oh, I'm so humble.
Adrian, I've just talked for like 1,000 years.
Honestly, no. I don't know. There's nothing. I had a lot of fun playing Grand. I really enjoy it. So there's nothing that I would say, I wish I could, I didn't like what I did. But if someone if I had the opportunity to sit there and say any of those lines 1,000 times over, I would, just because I think it's so much fun just to play with the character. But yeah, there's nothing that I watch and in this show. I mean, there's plenty of other things I've done in my career that for example, the Port of Vancouver video.
That was brilliant.
I would like a do-over, please. Yeah.
Everything's perfect, thank you. No, to be honest, like the way that we record, we'll do a bunch of takes of different lines, and sometimes I will try different lines different ways. And sometimes in my head, I will think like about a line in particular. I don't have any off the top of my head, but that I think were a really cool take. But then I see why, the directors chose the take they did. So even in a case where I'm like, I think my decision might have been better, which if you're watching, Aaron, Justin, your takes are always better. Your choices are the right ones. Thank you.
What I love about the directors, the guy, we call them the guys, the guys at Wonderstorm. Oh, the guys.
Hey.
They give us the freedom to do a take where they're like, do what you want. Do what happens. Do what you want. I love that. They trust us so much.
Yeah.
Should you? I don't know, but you do.
No.
We love it.
We must have done that scene where we're talking, like right before we go out for the mission, like 6 or 7 times. And half the time was us just like quipping back and forth and trying different stuff. And it's so freeing and so cool to just be able to play.
Totally.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, 2 questions. Who would your characters cosplay as? And is there any chance we will get to see a beatnik poet Soren in the future?
Oh my God.
In my
With the snaps?
wildest dreams,
Amazing.
yes.
What? Where are you going?
Come back. Come back. We didn't answer your question yet.
No, you stay there.
You stand there and listen.
I'm gonna stay.
We are talking.
I'm kidding. If you want to say you do you,
No,
but stay.
yeah.
Wait, what was it? Oh, cosplay.
Yeah.
Sorry, we just want to yell at you now for some reason.
Sorry.
Who would Gren cosplay as? Strawberry shortcake.
That would be amazing.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Claudia would cosplay as Darth Vader for sure.
Oh,
Nice.
that'd be amazing.
I think Soren would cosplay Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
Wolf? The new Teen Wolf or the old Michael J. Fox Teen Wolf?
The only Teen Wolf that matters.
So the CW.
Michael J. Fox Teen Wolf. Not Jason Bateman Teen Wolf. Michael J. Fox Teen Wolf. I've forgotten the other half of your question.
Beatnik Poet.
Oh,
Sorry.
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll make that happen.
Season 4.
Yes, make it happen. That's too much of
Let's get a petition going.
Yes, sir, with the targeting
Hi.
computer on your shirt.
I'm a little nervous to come up here and, potentially get yelled at, but
Welcome to this panel.
nervous.
so you guys were talking about your first roles. The previous panel we're talking about just how much of a grind it is sometimes to get up and audition and audition and audition and audition.
What a boring
And I
panel
know.
that must have
Yeah,
been.
it really
Sorry,
must have
I didn't
sucked.
mean
I
to
kind of
interrupt
dozed
you.
off during that part, but where was I? Oh, so I know you guys must have a phenomenally higher success rate for bookings than the previous panel guys did.
Probably, yeah.
Yes.
There must be at least one role that you badly wanted and didn't get. And what was it?
boy.
Ooh, I gotta think about
That's
that.
a lot of
I don't think I
parts.
can talk about those.
Oh, I'm sure I can. I just got to think about it. I need a second.
That's a great question.
Oh, I got one.
You start.
Okay, so years and years and years ago, there was just some like Lego Star Wars castings in Vancouver, and I really wanted Yoda.
Oh, we're
And
going to
like-
have to hear a Yoda now.
Well, let's give me a line.
Do or do not. There's no try.
Do or do not. No try there is.
That's pretty great. Let's get a round of applause.
Into it.
Additionally, at times, I will try and sneak either my Nicolas Cage or Jason Statham impressions into auditions, and I have never booked with any of those, but I still try.
I remember one that, I mean, it stung, but I also know the wonderful people who got cast, so it's not like a at them or anything. But I remember it was right after Iron Man, and so when I first started doing Iron Man, I was 19. It was one of my first roles, so
No big deal.
I was a little bit, maybe it puffed my chest up a little bit, and I was like, man, I'm good. And I had an audition for Lego was going to start this new franchise about ninjas called Ninjago.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, I got this in the bag. And I was like, I don't even need to really prep much. And I went and I just, that was just, and you know what? It was a valuable lesson because I never did that again. But I was very arrogant and I went and with very little preparation and it just did not go well. And I remember the casting director saying at the end of my audition, this hit me hard. He was like, "It's such a shame because I thought this character would be perfect for you." Oh. But they were right though. So that one stings, but I remember after that moment, it was such a gift because I was like, I can never stop working hard and never stop respecting this craft because it's not about like, hey, I'm on this show. You've always got to bring your A game and so that one always stings, but yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of anything in particular. However, my dream, only because I used to audition for them a lot, I would love to play a little boy in a cartoon. And every time I audition for one, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get this. Like I'm already there. And I never book little boys, but I'd love to. So maybe every time I've auditioned for a child boy.
Child boy.
Boy child.
Boy child.
Oh, but yeah, I can't think of anything in particular, but it's always, my brain is going there. Yeah.
May I be dismissed?
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Sit down,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Good question. That was a good question. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello again. So Jesse, you mentioned that for Soren, he was relieved when he knew he didn't have to kill anymore. But Claudia heals him, and so now he's again physically able to do what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
How does that affect him now?
I think kind of like I was saying, there's so much of Soren that's based around taking care of his family and making sure that he has the respect of his father, and that he wants his sister to be okay. He wants the people around him to be okay, and I don't think he dislikes Callum and Ezra. Like he makes fun of Callum sometimes, but I mean, who doesn't, right, Jack? I had to spike the camera for that. But I think I feel like what happened changed him. In that he knew he had to be like, the guy this is how he's going to get his Viren's approval. And I think he realized in that moment that like he doesn't want to do his father's mission. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see how that ends up playing out.
So it's a real change. It's not like a little fake out.
I don't think so. I think it genuinely shook him, because of course it would.
Right.
And then to have Claudia kick in the door, guns blazing,
Yeah.
to heal him. That's a sight.
Right. And then it was kind of talked about before as far as theories where when somebody uses dark magic that it kind of does affect them. I mean, do you think it would have affected Soren that dark magic is being used on him?
Oh, geez. I don't know. I don't know much about magic. I might know something about magic. I just know how to swing swords good, apparently.
I'm wondering if that would, because it was dark magic that was used on him, that it may not be a true change in Soren's character.
I think it is. I think it is, just because it was, it was this incredibly traumatic experience that happened. Like, we don't see how long he's laying in the hospital bed going like, well, here I go.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great question.
Hello again.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
To comment on a previous question, what a missed opportunity. You said that you want to cosplay Greta someone, and you didn't mention Iron Man as a cosplay.
Okay. I guess I could, but I'm hoping by saying strawberry shortcake that someone in the Twitterverse is going to draw that.
Yeah.
Because I kind of need to see that in
Guys,
here,
it's
so.
on you now.
Yeah.
Okay, but on to my real question. Claudia, probably one of her admirable qualities is her loyalty to her family and taking care of her family. I was just kind of wondering, during the course of this mission that she was put on with her brother, she kind of basically had to sacrifice her relationship with Callum during the course of that, and sort of may have poisoned it for good. I was just wondering, what was it like playing that, and how do you think it's affected her? I mean, because in addition to being obviously good friends for a very long time, there was the whole like romantic subplot or subtext to it, and I'm just wondering, basically, what was it like to play that and watch that die?
Yeah. So I'll be honest with you, I had forgotten that happened until I watched it. And when I was watching it, though, I realized how awful that was. I'm like, that's a really mean thing to do to someone. She used him. She used his, or I don't know, she knew he liked her. And she used that to get what she wanted. And I was not for that. I think she ruined it. I think she ruined it.
You blew it, Claudia.
I know, she blew it. Any chance she had with him, she would have to make it up. And I don't think she's going to realize she messed it up so hard until everything, if this happens, until everything has calmed down. And they're not on a mission anymore, and they're finally together again. I really don't think there's any chance of that coming back. That's just a theory. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
What was it like to work on the show The Legends of Chima? Where did you expect that to go?
Oh my goodness.
Deep cut!
I know. So Jesse and I were on it together.
Yeah. You, me? What?
Well, I will say this: Legends of Chima was my very first voice, cartoon
Really?
role. Yeah,
You were doing so great.
I did a bunch of commercials.
Well, you still did great.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
What, me? Yeah, I did fine. I did Legends of Chima. That's where I met Jesse. And what was the question? Where did I think it would go?
How was it?
What was it like to be working on Legend of Chima, and where did you think that show would go?
I had no
okay.
clue. I was
Yeah.
just excited to be on something. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm okay at this.
Genuinely that, where I was like, oh, I got a thing. That's cool. I remember, because I got the packet for like the main characters. And I auditioned for a bunch of them, but I wildly misread the tone of the script. So
So did I.
Well, you got to say, what did you think it was?
So I read for Laval, Krager, Gorzan, because I read for all of them, because, you know, I gotta shoot my shot. And I remember thinking like, oh, this is going to be like dark because they're like swinging swords at each other and they're like human animals. So I remember my Krager was really like, you know, Laval, I'm going to fight you and I'm going to win. And like David Attar, who got it, who's brilliant at it, did, you know, like, Laval, I'm going to fight you. And I was like, oh, great. Yeah, of course I didn't get this for exactly this reason. But I remember... because I was the second guy that they cast as Plovar, Jeff Todd, who is a very dear friend. So many of the voices on the show are Jeff, and
I coached him on that.
yeah, look at,
I have a nexus to this story. Keep going.
Adrian, you're a part of it. So I got Jeff. We ended up talking a bit, and he was like, "Yeah, I got a call," and they were like, "Yeah, they're replacing you as Plovar." And I remember walking in and just being like, okay, hey, everybody, I'm here. And there was this just sense of like, who is this?
Yeah.
Everyone was super chill, though, and everyone was super cool, because that's just those jitters you get walking into a room for the first time. But, yeah, I remember booking it and just thinking like, because I auditioned for it maybe 2 months before I booked it, and I just completely forgot about it. Because that's what you got to do sometimes, where, you know, I recorded it and I was like, okay, well, it's in the ether. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
We also
and then,
got like, sorry,
no, please,
sorry,
please.
I am so bad at judging when people are. I'm so sorry.
No,
We
please.
also have Lego figurines of ourselves, so that was fun too.
Yeah.
That was like in addition to like the cool cast and the cool like. vibe.
I did not get a Lego figure of Plovar, because one does not exist. I did get one of Stelthor, because he exists, and Scorm exists too. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was super fun to do. After I figured out it was Lego, because I had no clue. I figured it out 3 episodes in, maybe. I'm really on the ball, guys.
Well, the pictures, I remember the pictures they sent were not Lego characters. They were like actual animals.
Oh yeah, and my guy was like a little bluebird. He's got a Lego guy.
Adrian, were you on it also and I made a mistake?
No.
Oh. Thank you for your question.
Thank you. Legends of Chima. All episodes on Netflix.
Hello.
Hello.
So I have 2 questions. One is if your character could have like an animal sidekick, what animal would it be? And the other question is if you could give yourself any advice, like your younger self, what would your advice be?
Oh boy.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Animal sidekick.
For Gren.
For Gren.
Yeah.
So part of Gren was based off of a golden retriever, like my performance, because I have a golden retriever, and he was in the room when I was recording my audition, and I was like, you're dumb, but really lovely and loyal, so I'm gonna use you. But I think to give Gren a golden retriever would be a recipe for disaster. So I think like I would give Gren something that's like fiercely kind of intelligent and like perseverant, and Gren's just going to be like, hi everyone, like you're all good people, and the animal would just be like, and just keep him out of trouble. So I don't know. I would give him like what would it be? I don't know.
Like a hawk?
Yes, like a hawk with no sense of humor. That's just like, Gren, don't talk to that guy. Like, this, don't go to the meeting in the... Gren, where are you going? It's a hawk.
You could have those great moments of the hawk
Thank
just
you.
going like...
Yeah, exact little side eye. And then what would I give advice to my younger self? In regards to anything in particular? Or?
Maybe like voice acting or like your careers now.
Yeah, okay. You know what I would tell myself, and I'll say this to any aspiring actors and voice actors out there, is to really do your best to understand that you are enough. So very often we feel like everything that we need to succeed is outside of us, right? And even as voice actors, we tend to look at look at this craft as I've got to go outside of myself to draw inspiration, and I want to sound like that guy or this guy or what have you, and that can kind of cause sometimes this subconscious belief that you're not enough. And I remember watching one day, I think I was like laying in bed on my laptop, and I was watching videos of Orson Welles, and there's an interview with him where he talks about acting being like sculpting, where it's not about what you add, it's about what you take away. So that underneath all of this clay that is Adrian, there is a villain. There is, that there's all this stuff that every character is just about chipping away the parts of yourself that don't belong with that character and finding what does. And that I found really freeing. That really inspired me. And so, I approach I try to approach every role and every challenge like, I might not know where this lives in me, but I know it does live in me. So I'm gonna help kind of dig that and chip away until I find that, if that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, cool.
That was so beautiful.
That was great.
I got very teary-eyed. That was beautiful.
Yeah. I am a beautiful person, so I say beautiful things.
Please, no, you.
I think Claudia's animal sidekick, it has to be something bigger than a small animal, because I don't trust her anymore. Maybe like a wolf. Something scary, like a wolf or like a giant snake. No, I like a wolf. A wolf and a snake. She doesn't know the difference between one and two, so she's got like a wolf with a snake boa. Yeah, that. If I could give,
so cool.
I know, I want that. I would tell young Racquel to put work into what you're doing, because I started doing voice acting when I was 14, and I didn't really know what I was doing. It was so new to me, and I don't want to say I took it for granted, but I could have tried a lot harder. So I would tell Lil Rack, that's cool. You guys should start calling me that. I would say to her, try hard, every audition counts, and keep going. Just keep going. You don't know what's going to happen. You literally don't know what's going to happen. Keep going. Yeah.
So Soren, animal friend. I think that cool pack of dogs that was with him to like hunt Rayla, those are so cute and cool, and I think he would love to just have a big bunch of dogs around him all the time. It'd be so much fun. Insofar as, I know I kind of glossed over that one, but they're so cute. All dogs are good dogs.
True.
Yes. Insofar as advice that I would give to little baby me, I think my advice to myself would be, stop trying to look so cool all the time and just learn to play and relax and be yourself. Because like when I came up in acting school, like my background's martial arts. My dad's a grandmaster martial artist. I've studied martial arts my entire life. I wanted to be in action movies. And I went through acting school with like, yeah, I like this, and cartoons are cool too sometimes, but I want to be like a badass action hero. And then I started auditioning in Vancouver, and I'm a stocky 5'3" Filipino kid. And they were like, who are you? please leave. And even like coming through voiceover, I was like, oh, I want to audition for like the cool guys, the badass guys. But I wish that little baby me had gotten the message sooner to, just relax and play. Because, I tell my students this when I coach and when I teach voice acting. As adults, we're not really allowed to play. very much. It's not super encouraged, and it's so important to our craft as actors to let ourselves play and to let ourselves be. And I wish I'd figured that out sooner.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great question.
Fantastic question.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Actually, I have two questions, but the first one's directed toward Jesse.
Hi.
So you mentioned earlier that you have a Nicolas Cage impression.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you mind if I do a request?
Yeah.
Would it be possible to do Nick Cage from Con Air and just telling the guy to put the bunny back in the box?
I need you to put the bunny back in the box.
Yeah.
Will you just put the bunny back in the box? Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
boy, oi, oi.
Yeah. One of my favorite Nick Cage movies. The other one being Face Off, but we can do that one later.
You mean you want to take his face off?
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
So going to my second question. So it's not going to be as cool as my fake spoiler one, but I already asked the other half of this. The other half of the cast is
The
a
more
loser
boring
cast.
half,
Lesser
right?
half,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, that one. So if you could get transported to Zadia or Jumanji'd, as I said last time.
Jumanji and Zadia.
Yeah, if you got Jumanji'd into Zadia, and it'll be the Rock rules. So you get 3 lives, you can't really die, blah blah
Okay.
blah. You can choose whatever character you want. What would you do?
Oh.
Choose. Sorry, say it again. Choose whatever character.
You can do whatever you want. I think Jake said he was gonna be Thunder.
Jake?
Not Jake. Jack.
Oh, okay, Jack, right.
Jack said he was gonna be Thunder. I think Sasha said she was gonna be Thanos for some reason. What? Yeah. You can do whatever you want. Just do whatever you want.
Bait.
So we.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be bait.
Good answer.
Yeah, you can do literally whatever you want. Like if you just got Jumanji, you pick your character, make up any character, whatever you want. Like create a character, just be whatever. Just do whatever. No, but in Zadia.
But in Zadia, like
But
we're
in
getting
Zadia.
Jumanji'd
Into Zadia.
Okay.
But you can't die and all that good stuff. You can just goof or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, I know exactly. Erebos. Oh. Just live in a cool mirror all the time. Just walk around shirtless. Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
Just stick that thing in your ear.
Just like, hey, buddy, why don't you put this worm in your ear?
Yeah.
Part of me is like, oh, I want to be a different baby dragon, just like a random baby dragon.
Just like Zim's best friend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, they become best friends.
Okay.
There's a whole backstory.
Okay.
Which, hold on, wait for it. It's very
Would you like to go
wholesome
into
and
it?
adorable. I'd love to get into it.
Do we have time to? Can we? Okay.
Well, no, I'm mostly kidding. But like, we can make a little sitcom around this little baby dragon's adventures, and like, she's the best. And then she meets Zim, and they become friends.
Oh. So it's like Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23, but with Zim and another dragon.
Another dragon. You can name them. I'm bad at naming things. I
Okay.
name everything after my little brother Nick. So.
Nick the Dragon.
And then the other Nick the Dragon.
Yeah.
And then the other Nick the Dragon.
Oh, I love this already. It's just gonna be called Nick.
Oh, what was yours
Chronicles of
again?
Nick.
What was yours, Adrian? I forgot.
Oh, I was bait.
Bait.
I would just go
Yeah.
and ba-bum.
Yeah.
It's what he did on the plane ride over.
And they would go on adventures, and the Knicks would have their kind of funny things, and I would just eat and crumpet people. And, yeah.
That actually sounds like a way better answer than that.
All right, cool. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
man.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. What dark magic spell would you like to have in this world?
That has already happened.
Yeah.
All of them? Dark magic is cool.
Oh, this is deep.
Adrian, do you have anything?
I'm trying to go over
I
the
know, I'm
dark
going over
magic
this.
spells that we've seen.
Okay, so there was like the chain one, and there was the
That's
fixing
creepy. I
Soren
wouldn't
one,
want
which
that.
was pretty cool.
Fixing Soren one. Yeah. Hey, there's
Actually,
more.
yeah, fixing Soren one sounds pretty great.
I'd fix people. I'd be like, boom.
Yeah.
And then so it's dark magic, but I fixed you.
So is dark magic actually good? Maybe.
What about you guys?
I think I'm going to go with fixing Soren one. I like that one.
Yeah.
But what if it's like you can only fix specifically Soren?
I'm okay with that.
That is kind of useless.
How dare you?
Well,
incredibly useful.
I guess.
He gets into a lot of trouble.
That's true.
I like when Claudia shot fire, like she squished. I don't like spiders, so I love this particularly where she killed a spider and then like, what did she shoot fire?
Yeah, she lit the torch.
Yes.
Or no, she lit the funeral pyre for King Harrow.
I don't often need to light things, but I think that would be handy if I did. That's my choice.
Thank you very much.
Great one.
Hi.
Hello.
Aloha.
Aloha.
I have 2 questions, relatively easy. Sorry, I'm short.
Never apologize.
Literally,
for that.
everyone on this panel is under 5'5", so.
We got you.
Yeah.
My first question was, is there any songs you associate your characters with? Like, whenever I hear the song Black Magic Woman, I think of Claudia now.
Yeah.
And my second question is, if you could change your character design in any way, like add a few capes, a sword.
So many capes.
What would you add or take away?
Ooh. So CT, who is one of the like character designers of Wonderstorm, showed me one of like the early roughs of Soren. That it's on Twitter, so I can talk about it. Where he had like a sick cape with a bit of fur trim, and that'd be so cool. His capes are pretty dope. You guys?
I would love it if Claudia had a nose piercing and a sleeve, baby. Like, just like, I love tattoos so much, but I would love for that. What was your, did you ask another question
The
too?
song.
The song that you associate.
I got to think more about it.
I gotta
so
think
that's why I'm
more,
like hiding
but-
back here.
Gren's song would be, "Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends?" So that would be Gren's song. And I think it would be awesome if Gren had like this really wicked helmet face mask of like, you know in Willow, the guy with the skull, you know, if he had like that, but then he's just the softie underneath, so we would walk into places and people would be like, "Oh," and he'd be like, "Hello, greetings and salutations." So I think that would be kind of a funny contrast.
Oh, geez, songs. I wish I had a better answer for this because I blank on music so frequently. In my head, the first song that came to mind, and this might just be because I like it, is "Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood" by Santa Esmeralda from the Kill Bill 2 soundtrack. Because the chorus goes, you know, "I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood." That's probably not the song I would choose upon further thought, but it was my first instinct, and this is improv, so I'm going to go with it.
I think Claudia's would be, I think it's "If You Want to Be My Lover," the one who's like, I wanna
Spice Girls.
really wanna sing. It's like, because I can see her doing like spells and like breaking things. It's like, And I just love the idea of her like, dancing in her bedroom, destroying things to a Spice Girls song. I think that's beautiful.
That's incredible.
That's
I love that.
insane.
I have to draw that now.
Please do. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Hello, Zan.
One of the things that the creators of this show has kind of been known for is for giving, both in The Dragon Prince and their previous work, is giving their characters like meaningful character arcs. And my question is for Adrian. The way we've had Gren set up is, it seems like he hasn't quite yet had his moment to shine. And I know that you probably won't be able to answer some of this because you're probably under a non-disclosure agreement or you haven't seen the script quite yet. But do you feel like maybe there's just more to Gren that we haven't quite seen yet, and his moment to say, like, his moment to basically say, yes, I'm here, this is what I can do, and this is what I'm good at is coming? Or do you feel like it's part of that's been set up yet?
There's probably a moon shadow elf like waiting to kill me if I say too much right now. So I'm not sure how I can answer that. But yeah, like I personally, so this is me. I'm not speaking on behalf of anything that is happening necessarily. But yes, absolutely, I would agree that there's more to come from Gren in sort of his personal transformation. I think that's true of everybody on this show. You know, even the smaller characters. You know, this whole world is sort of being pushed into a trajectory that I don't think anybody is going to be free from having to make a choice. You know, in the end. So yes, absolutely. Internally, as an actor playing Gren, I think yes, he definitely has more within him, whether he knows it or not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just from seeing him so far, it seems like he's kind of. I get this vibe from him where it's like first he comes in and he's basically an interpreter and you don't really know as much about him, and then he ends up being prisoner/comic relief. But it feels like there's more underneath the surface, and I'm just waiting to see what happens in season 3 or 4 where he really gets to come out and shine.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm always fascinated by his relationship with General Amaya and where that comes from. I touched on that with the panel yesterday about just how loyal he is and that incredible relationship they have. I want to know the backstory. I have my own, but yeah, I want to know what that is.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, Adrian, we know you have a golden retriever.
Yes.
Jesse, Racquel, you have pets?
My partner and I are looking at adopting a dog soon.
Okay.
I had ferrets before, and I had a cat for 18 years.
Okay. Do you do specific voices for your pets? Do your pets have their own voices, or is that taking work home?
I had specific voices to talk to my pets. You will not hear them.
Mine are really disappointing because I'm a voice actor and you'd think they'd be good.
Yeah.
But when Marty was a puppy, it was always this like throaty kind of like, hey Dad, let's go to the park and stuff like that. But now he's starting to get really like white around the eyes and stuff. And now I kind of think of Shadow from what was it from Homeward Bound. And so it's always that kind of like, hey Dad, you want to go to the park today? Like that's sort of the vibe I get from him now. Yeah.
Do you have pets, Rack?
I don't have pets. My apartment does not allow for pets. However, I used to have I don't know if it's. Yeah, we had a lot of fish, like a lot of goldfish. Like, I had one named Rainbow, we had one named Elmo, but those are the only two I can remember, and it's really messing with me, because I know we've had more than that. But I would love a baby puppy. And I would just talk to it the way I talk to all people. So like, oh, just a baby, a little baby.
I can confirm that's how she talks to all people. We went for coffee last week, and that's exactly how she spoke to the barista.
I would like a tall pike lace roast beef, did you?
Ma'am, are you okay?
I got asked to leave.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Hey. Thank you for saving us.
I was going to say, I have a question for you guys after, but we... No.
Yeah.
I insist. You stay there. You get back there.
Get on the mic. Hey. Don't you dare. You think you're going.
Is there any chance that Claudia will open up her own version of Starbucks in that world?
I would love for that to happen. Oh, my goodness. Okay. That would be so cool.
Absolutely.
That would be so
If she just
cool.
became like the Gunther from Friends of like the Dragon Prince world.
If Claudia were a Friends character, it would be Gunther. I know that her like the voice ref was Phoebe, but no, she is a Gunther. She is a Gunther. Well, I feel like every drink would just so many different insects, so many different like.
They are the protein of the future, I'm told.
Yeah. No.
What would be called?
Moonbugs.
Oh, there you go.
Who said that?
Yeah.
Well done.
By the way,
You
Little
took a
Rack
chance.
would be a great rapper name.
Pardon?
Little Rack would be a great rapper name.
Thank you so much. I've been saying this.
It's not
Thank
gonna.
you.
It's not gonna stick.
Don't encourage her.
All right, your question. Your question, ma'am, right there.
I wanted to ask you guys something.
Oh, yes.
It's not. Ouch! It's not Dragon Prince related. I hit my leg.
That's
for those
fine.
who didn't see. That was my fault. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh.
Oh wow.
Depends on my mood.
Okay.
Immediate go-to. First one that popped into my mind was "Stars" from Les Mis.
Ooh, can we get a sample?
It's gonna. I mean, Jason's watching, and he's gonna be like, "Jesse, wasn't good."
What did I tell you about singing?
Oh God, what are the lyrics? There, out in the darkness, a fugitive running, running from God, running from grace. Yeah, so.
I'm just picturing like, yes. Like at a birthday party, everyone's going crazy, and then
Excuse me, it's my time.
turn."
Theater kid time.
What about you, Adrian?
I hate you.
I hate
Thank you very much. I don't like you anymore.
All right, that's enough for the panel. No, yeah, go for it.
It's Not Unusual by Tom Jones.
Ooh!
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. I don't have the words in front of me.
We can find him.
Don't. Goodbye. I'm flying home right now.
I have two, and I don't know which one is my favorite because I sing them equally as much.
Okay, here's my thinking.
Okay.
Tell both of them. We'll let the audience decide which one you're going to sing.
Great. I might just sing both. But As Long As You Love Me by the Backstreet Boys.
Ooh.
It's a good one. And Man, I Feel Like a Woman by Shania Twain.
Ooh.
Oh, also, I always sing this too, but You're Still the One by Shania Twain.
You're just a Shania Twain
I
head.
love Shania.
Okay, what do you want to hear, guys? Backstreet Boys!
I don't care who you are, where you're from, don't care what you did, as long as you love me.
Yay!
Thank you. I was gonna sing more, and then I thought, no. Keep you wanting
could.
more. No, I want to leave them like
You leave them
thirsty
wanting.
for more Racquel singing.
Check out our YouTube channel. We don't have one of those. Oh boy, do I have a question for you guys? Oh, you got a question?
Even better.
Thank you.
He's like, no, I was just going to the bathroom. Don't.
Hey, earlier you mentioned martial arts background.
Yeah.
I was really curious about what martial arts were you studying.
My dad's a grandmaster of modern arnis.
Okay.
So most of my training has been in that. Beyond that, I've spent probably 10 years in capoeira training. So that's kind of my background. I've dabbled in styles here and there, but those are like my two.
Do you teach, or does it translate to other aspects of your life?
I teach, not super often. I've got like a little class in the park back home, but I find like the discipline has helped me a lot. Capoeira in specific has helped me a lot in like letting myself feel free to play, because like the whole concept of the art is, you're not fighting somebody, you're playing a game with them. So that has translated really nicely into like allowing myself to just kind of free up and relax,
Oh, thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Perfect, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Hi.
Just a follow-up, I shout, "Here's a web in your eye," and I throw my phone at people's faces and I run the other way.
It's true, it hurts.
Yeah.
Okay, so two questions. If you guys could be anything like besides a voice actor, like what would you want to be if you had like a do-over, or just for fun or whatever? And what's your favorite movies?
My favorite movie?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, okay. Yeah.
If I could be anything, I mean, I kind of do it back home. I work with high-risk teenagers, or youth, we call them youth, and I would like to do more of that. I would like to explore social work and working with people. That's my big thing. I really am passionate about. A lot of people don't know that because they're like, oh, who's this creep? But I'm okay, I think. I don't know. But that's what I would dive into. My favorite movie, I love the Titanic. I've had a lot of guys on dates leave because I have said that.
You like Titanic? Gross.
Gross. That's not Goodfellas, or the other one that I always mix up with
Scarface,
Goodfellas.
God.
Scarface. Yes, thank you.
Amazing. Okay, so yeah, other than an actor, voice actor, I think I'd be a wildlife photographer.
Ooh.
I find real. So I have anxiety, and I find real solace in. I like to walk my dog and out in nature. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I take a lot of pictures of just like trees and stuff, because I think it's really beautiful. And animals if I come across them. So if I could get paid to have a nice camera and be sent into the jungle somewhere and just take pictures of that beautiful stuff, that would be beautiful. Yeah. And then my favorite movie. would be salt. No, I'm kidding. That'd be such a great transition from what I just said. I love people get chopped up. No, I have so many. It's so hard to say, but I'm just gonna be really unoriginal. And like what really blew my mind as a kid was the original Star Wars, and so I'll say that as that was a launching off point for my imagination. So yeah.
For me, if I were not an actor, I wasn't for a while, and I was studying classical history, and I grew up watching Indiana Jones, and I loved it, and I to this day think that there's still so much of history and ancient history that we know nothing of because of various wars or just, another side winning a fight, and I think I would like to be an archaeologist. I know it's not as exciting as the movies. I have friends who are actually archaeologists, but in my dreamscape, it absolutely is. Insofar as my favorite movie, I think I said this on one of the other panels, but I'll give you two because I already spoiled one. One is the Muppet movie, the original Muppet movie. There are 5 separate points in the film I can think of off the top of my head right now that just make me weep like a child because they're so beautiful to me. I will not tell you what they are. I have to have my secrets somewhere. And the other one that really just launched me was seeing Robert Downey Jr. in the original Iron Man. Because I've always looked up to him as like somebody who just really turned their life around and just made such an impact on culture. And like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang's another one that comes immediately to mind, but he's such a visceral, incredible performer, and watching his work made me want to hit that level.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I thought I saw a sign come up. How are we on time? Anybody know?
We got 2 minutes.
4 minutes. Okay. 2 minutes. Nigel, come on.
You're adding up everyone doing the twos.
No, Nigel put 4.
I rounded up. This is me.
He was just saying like, peace, man. You're great.
Okay, thank you, Nigel.
Hello.
Hi.
So going back to the art, I need a few more drawing prompts. So is there any other things that you would want to see your character specifically as or doing, like maybe
Oh my
Gren
God.
in Jurassic Park?
Okay, well.
Oh my
yeah.
Now it's there.
God.
Oh my gosh. Could a Gren Skywalker? So like Luke's, like the Tatooine outfit from the first Star Wars. Because Gren's got kind of those dreamer eyes that Luke has. He was looking out at the sunsets. So, yeah. Wow.
I have one. I would like to see the Dragon Prince cast's Katsonas.
Yes, okay.
They're incredible, Adrian.
Wait, so the voice actors or your characters?
Oh, why not both?
Okay, cool.
From the hit film Cats coming out December 25th. I will be there opening night.
Yep, same.
With an exorcist.
Please.
I'm trying to think of stuff that I like doing that I would like to see Claudia doing. I eat a lot of pasta. I'd love to see her like slurping spaghetti in a gross way. And maybe Soren's in the back like, gross. Or he doesn't notice how gross it is and like Viren's like, ugh.
Sis,
Yeah.
I think you've had enough pasta.
I wouldn't put it pasta.
Oh my God.
Waka waka.
I think that is a lovely, lovely button line.
That's a solid button. All right, we've been the good half of the Dragon Prince cast. Thank you so much for coming out tonight.
Thank you so much, guys. Is that? Are we ending? I think we're.
Is
over.
that it?
Yeah, we're
0 minutes left.
0 minutes left.
Can we just say I'm sure the other the worst half of the cast already said this, but I just really from the bottom of our hearts we've had such a lovely few days
Absolutely.
here, both on your amazing island and here at the convention. So just thank you from the bottom of our hearts. You guys are amazing.
You guys are the
Thank
best.
you so
Thank you so
much.
much. Adrian and I, are you sticking around at the booth for a bit?
Yes, I'm going to stick
Okay.
around for a
I'm
couple
gonna stick
minutes.
around for a couple minutes.
Yeah, we're
also.
sticking around. Adrian, I'll be there probably till 4-ish. Rack is a free spirit who does what she pleases.
I got a luau to go to, so yeah.
But
So,
if you want to come say hi, please don't wait. Please come down and say hi
By
before
all
we
means,
leave.
come say hi to us. We love you guys. Thank
Yes.
you so
Thank you so
much.
much.
Thank you. Mwah, 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 mwah.